now you have McGregor fighting Dustin Poirier, right? He's like a high-end prostitute,
Oh,
you know what
really?
I'm
Tell
talking
me
about?
more about that.
He's a high-end prostitute. Now people want to go out to on a date with him to show, hey, I have a pretty girl with me. He's the pretty girl, and after that, when you with her, he can go show other girls, be like, hey, I got this beautiful girl. You want to date me? That means fighter. They fight him, but they don't understand. Conor McGregor have a 1 to 3 years, but he have still high price hooker. Man, he's a hooker. He is. You understand? I know.
What's up, everybody? You guys, welcome to this episode of Hotboxin with Mike Tyson. I'm your co-host, Triple C, aka Henry Cejudo.
And I'm Mike Tyson. And who we got here today, Henry? Somebody very special, Henry. This is going to be a good one tonight, Henry.
Yeah, no, it is, man. You're talking about the American dream, man. Every time I think of Ali, I think of the American dream. And I'm gonna put him in the Arnold Schwarzenegger category because this man has done some extraordinary things. The one and only, the baddest manager on the planet,
Ever.
Ali Abdelaziz.
What's up, guys? Uncle Mike, thank you so much,
Assalamu
brother.
alaikum, brother.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's always goosebump when I sit next to this legend, and having me on the same
I'm
couch
so
as
happy
him.
to have you here, brother. Been a
Thank you,
long
brother.
time, and you're very elusive.
I'm just trying to move. What's up?
No, the thing is with him, Mike, is I've known Ali for since about 2004. And this goes back because a lot of people just see Ali as a manager. I mean, this guy went through the whole Olympic ranks of what it is in judo in Egypt, and being at the Olympic Training Center. I mean, you want to kind of tell us a little bit of your
Well,
story
I know
here, Ali?
he's very attached to his fighters. He's really close.
No. One of the things people don't know, the way I met Henry, I was an athlete training for the Olympics at the Olympic Training Center, and I lived there, and Henry lived there. And that was in 2004, 2003. And after that, I started fighting.
What made you want to start doing that?
I was doing judo all my life since when I was a kid, and I come here for the U.S. Open, and I kind of stayed, and I never went back. And the U.S. team gave me an opportunity to train with them. And after that, I met Henry, and I become a professional fighter, like MMA fighter. I wasn't a great fighter. I was like a mediocre type of fighter. And Henry used to come to my fights when he was a wrestler, right? That's back in the days. And that's how I know Henry. I know Henry for a long time. And, I fought for a little bit. And after that, I transitioned to become a
What
manager.
do you think, Henry? You think about from where you first met him to now. What do you think about
Oh
his?
man, it's like this, and I mean it when I say the American dream, I do think of Ali because man, this from the stories even that I've known. I know he used to be a bouncer in Colorado Springs.
Come
back
on,
in the
get the
day.
fuck out of here, man.
No, seriously. I'm going to tell you a story. Like, Daniel Cormier, DC, and stuff like that? I got a job at this club, and this is true story. And I used to be, they
What's
said,
the name of the club?
it's called Rambe Nightclub, right?
All right.
And I used to be the guy that
Where's
said,
this at?
it's in Colorado Springs. It's on
Right.
Tijuana Street.
That's where the training center is.
Yeah. And all the Olympic athletes come on night and the military and stuff like that. And after that, one day, I was the guy who picked up the bottles, the cup. I was the busboy, right? But I come from a different place, and a big fight broke down, and a lot of the guys with the Olympic Training Center, big wrestler, big guys, stuff like that. I broke the fight. I did what I have to do, and the owner saw that, and the owner said, you know what, you're not a busboy anymore. You're gonna become a bouncer, and but check this out. In 2 months, I become the head bouncer of the club. Daniel Cormier, Henry's coaches, they used to come to the club. Ali, please, can you let us in the club? And I was the head bouncer at this club for like 4 years.
Remember that shit?
I was the head bouncer.
You remember that shit, Henry?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I was, and I used to take care of all these guys when they come to the club and stuff like that. But I become from a busboy to a head bouncer like in 3 months.
Well, this what it was too with Ali, man. Like he became so notorious for being a bouncer. He was like the meanest bouncer. He used to pop people. He used to pop the head.
But that's back then. Back then, I changed. I changed a lot of my ways because it used to be like coming this military guys come so angry, and I understand they was going through, and they come and they want to fight, and it was a little bit crazy, and after that, the bounce on things is like did it for 3-4 years, and I become a fighter. And after that, one of the things side job I used to have. I used to live at the Olympic Training Center, right? And this is a crazy story. In New York, they used to have the FUBU, the Nautica from Canal Street, all the knockoff stuff, like fake stuff. And a friend of mine, I was living at the Olympic Training Center with all the Olympic athletes. But on Sunday, I used to open back in my truck and I have like watches, FUBU, CD, DVDs, everything. And that was my side hustle.
Like
I used to make money.
I know that was the killer though. Huh?
you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what
I
I'm
used to
saying,
make
Mike?
$3,000 a week back then.
Consummate hustler, huh?
Yes, but I was training, in the Olympics, and I was a bouncer, and I was selling DVDs. But I used to go all by the black barbershops, and I used to go with the box. What's up? I got what you need, and everybody showed me a lot of love in Colorado Springs and Denver. Shout out to all those people, and I always like to work, because
You're just a little world traveler, huh? Ali.
no, because
Just wanna be all over the
I had like 20 people in Egypt. I have my mother, my sister,
Oh,
my
you're taking
brothers.
care of people.
I had to take care of them. They have no income. They can't even eat. Like sometime when I was young, I couldn't. I slept with no food because we like 8 people lived in a two bedroom apartment. My mother was sick. My father was older. The economy's bad, and we live in a slum. We live in a slum. But the slum in Egypt is very different. It's not bad. It's very religious, like very conservative, but people is very poor. And I come here really to kind of change their life and my life, and it worked out well for me, and I'm grateful. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing with Ali, his turning point, and talk about this a little bit, Ali, because I know your story, man. Is
It's kind of crazy. I'm talking about myself. The next time I feel very
no, I
uncomfortable.
know, but
I
this
feel
is
very
no.
uncomfortable.
Trust me, Ali. Everybody's intrigued because this man, Mike, the world is misunderstood.
Why
You
do
know,
you say that? What is it about him that you know that no one else knows?
no, because he's a passionate person.
Oh,
When
we
you're
can all
with
see
Ali,
that.
when you're
We
with
can see that
Ali,
he's really passionate and crazy and he loves his fighters.
exactly. You know what I'm saying? He's loyal, man. We have to be loyal to him. It's like they fight him, they fight all of us. Somebody fights me, they fight all of us. You know what I'm saying? Talk a little bit about how Henzo Gracie changed your pretty much, man. He gave you the way, man.
Yeah, I moved to I used to live in Bed-Stuy, New York. That's where I used to live, and I trained out of Henzo Gracie in Manhattan. I used to take the A train, every day. Mike used to live. It was very rough, and I was the only guy there. I look like I don't fit there, but realistically, I'm
Nah, you
African.
look like you look like you black, man. That
But I'm the original black man. People doesn't know this. I am original. I'm proud to be black. You understand? African. Anyway, I fought in Japan one time and I lost. And at this point, I didn't have any money. I didn't have nothing going on for me. And Henzo Gracie, I used to help him in the gym, right? Henzo Gracie is a legend, and he's very much, I used to help guys around the gym, like they fighting in small shows for free. I make no money. And Henzo said, "Hey, I want to come back and fight in the UFC," and that was in 2009. I said, "Okay." And back then, my accent was so heavy, and he's like, "No, I want you help me reach out to the UFC." I said, "Bro, I don't know these people." He's like, and somebody said, "Talk to Joe Silva." And I talked to Joe Silva, said, "No. This is above my pay grade. You need to talk to Dana White." I don't know. I know who he is, but I don't know him. Reach out to his assistant, set up a meeting. But I think everything was set up already because Henzo Gracie was attached to Sheikh Tahnoun, who at the time owned 10% of the UFC. And we had to go to Vegas. And that was my first meeting with UFC people. Normally, you meet the matchmaker, you have couple champion, you meet Dana, you know. And after that was Lorenzo Fatita sitting down, who become very close friend of mine, a mentor of mine, and Dana also. And we went in there. I said, "Hey, if you wanna have me there, Henzo, you can't say nothing." And Henzo said, "What are you talking about?" So and Dana started talking and stuff like that. But everybody said Dana White was a scumbag. He was the lowest of the lows, right? People told me that, "Hey man, be careful. This guy is bad." And after that, the guy was generous. They have food for us. They have drinks and everything. And it was in the office. And he would start talking. I said, "You know what, man? I don't care what everybody said about you." And he's like, "What everybody said about me?" And I said, "Man, like," Lorenzo said, "No, we want to know." I said, "Everybody see you an asshole." And everybody started laughing, And since this day, Dana White is who's somebody I look up to and become friends. We make the deal. Henzo fought, and this is how I got connected to this UFC thing. And I become a promoter after that. And when you become a promoter, Dana become your enemy, right? And I got his blessing, him and Lorenzo, and let me become a promoter at one point. And that's how I kind of started my UFC run. Um, and
Yeah, it's interesting because he took that. It was Renzo Gracie, and Renzo Gracie, he comes from the Gracie family. He's fought in the UFC. He's one of the pioneers of the sport of mixed martial arts. And man, now you're kind of paving the way forward now, Ali. Like, look at he's been able to hand you the baton.
But in reality, Henzo didn't need me as a manager. Henzo really wanted to help me out. Henzo kind of got the best manager. He didn't need nothing, right? But he really opened the door for me to start a career, and I'm always gonna be grateful to him. I'm always gonna be loyal to him. Without him, I wouldn't be here.
I understand.
Yeah. Like a lot of people talk about loyalty too much, and sometimes it make me upset because loyalty is not just talk; it's action. You understand? And that's one thing I really take pride of. Just like being loyal, And sometimes I do stuff out of character for just getting angry at someone, like rob somebody or did something wrong to somebody, or just say something about somebody. You remember the night we was watching the fight together?
We had a good time that night.
In
Even
Vegas.
though you wanted to attack somebody.
No, it's just passionate, But I'm not saying it's right, but this is about it.
Yeah. How did you guys? When did you guys first meet, Mike? Do you remember
Now,
the
listen,
first
how
encounter
long
with Ali?
how long ago was it that I
Yeah,
met you?
it's a while, like 5 years at least.
Probably 5 or 6 years.
5, 6 years. The way we met. I don't know if you want to say or you want me to say.
You can say it.
Rob, I know Rob because
Mike
Rob
is
was
lit.
Listen, Rob, I think I see you before. I used to come to the UFC fights all the time.
Yeah, we met there one time.
I was always coked out of my mind. Fat Mike used to come hang out all the
But,
time.
Check this out. I never in my life asked a celebrity, an actor, like give me like a photo or do a photo with me or something like that. I think Mike Tyson was the only guy who saw like famous guy in my life to ask for a photo. And every time I meet him, I would take a photo and I'll post it. It's like a bragging right. Hey, I know Mike Tyson. Like the whole thing is people. I was talking to Prince Khalid, you met him before. Who's the guy putting on Anthony Joshua, the Gypsy King. What's his name?
Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury fight, right? And we was talking actually 3 days ago. I said, I met so much celebrity, Tom Brady, this. I said the only guy going publicly, worldwide, not only in America, like Tom Brady, people know him in America. He's famous in America, right? But I'm talking about an international global superstar. Muhammad Ali is the GOAT, but I think Mike Tyson, he's the most famous, most recognized human on this planet today.
They are
It's-
gods.
You know what I'm saying? It's not Michael Jordan. It's not Michael Jackson.
Listen,
It's not Muhammad Ali. And
I gotta
Muhammad
bring my
Ali.
kids, and my kids don't believe that. My
No,
kids don't believe that.
But I'm just telling you. I'm gonna tell you
I
something.
gotta bring my wife and my
we
kids
had
here.
dinner. I'm gonna tell you this.
Holy shit! I'm
Listen to
keep
me.
talking, brother, but I just gotta bring my wife and kids.
Yeah, bring it up.
They
Mike.
are. My wife and
It's,
kids
it's
don't
not,
believe
it's,
this shit.
it's not even like people in Africa who don't have water. They know Mike Tyson. People living in a mansion in Kings. They know Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is not an icon. Mike Tyson has become a culture. It's a lifestyle, right? Everybody want to be like Mike, right? And even Mike, I thought about it, right? We had dinner at the Circa Hotel, and I see something very different, right? Normally, people know
I
Tom
wish
Brady.
my children were here. Go ahead, keep talking.
But this is true. This is honest. Wallahi, this is the truth. And I see an 80 years old say hello to Mike. We went to the circle. We come out at dinner. I went with Khabib, with Dana White to dinner, with Giannis. Giannis, the basketball. I was with him last week. I never see in my life the whole entire hotel. People love their table, gambling. They playing. Guys was doing a sports book. We have at least 2,000 people who surrounded Mike from 4 different generations, from 8 years old,
Oh,
6 years old,
Yeah, where's
50
your
years
kids
old,
at,
20
Mike?
years old. But check this out.
They don't
But I'm
believe
talking
this
about
shit.
people from 4 different generations. They know Mike Tyson. You understand? If you put on a Mike Tyson fight, a versus Coca-Cola
I
bottle,
wish my kids would come
if
here.
you put on a Mike Tyson fight versus a Coca-Cola bottle, will be the biggest fight in history every time, right? And this is why how Mike Tyson is 5 different generations know Mike Tyson, right? I think Mike Tyson is a brand forever. You know why?
My kids are saying Magic Johnson, Madonna,
Come
Prince,
on,
Michael.
Mike.
Nobody knows this guy.
That's how it is, Mike.
My kids are killing me at home.
And one thing too, Mike Tyson is, you know, mostly the Muslim world is 1.7 billion Muslim, right?
Oh,
And they're all Mike Tyson fan. But even people, Jewish, Christian, Hebrews, atheists, they all love Mike.
Well,
You know,
I
because
love
there's only one
everybody
Mike,
too,
you know,
I'm
because you
lost.
can get the nice Mike, the crazy Mike.
No, those guys are gone, man. I don't know who I am now.
But
I'm
it's
just
true.
Mike.
Remember when we went to Circa? I
Yeah.
saw this. I saw like 8 years old, 7 years old, 4 years old, 18 years old kids was coming to
Yeah.
Mike, right? And this is kind of like when we're sitting here, we're like nothing. You understand? We
My
just
daughter's gonna think I have a 12-year-old daughter. She's gonna think I paid you to say this.
Yeah, that's what I tell Mike all the time, man. I feel like Muhammad Ali, man, passed you the baton, Mike. You know, I think a lot of fighters feel that. You know, do you feel that, Mike?
Henry, I just don't want to be imprisoned by that. You know, some people get imprisoned by that person, or that stigma, that energy, whatever it is. I don't want to be imprisoned by that. I want to be able to hang out with y'all like this at a restaurant or somewhere.
But you know, your last fight.
That's what I
right?
want.
And I'm not trying to switch this topic to you, but I have to. Like at 57 years old, your last fight, right? At
54.
the 54, whatever, 60, whatever, how old you are,
He
right?
ain't that old.
But I'm talking about you going in there looking in this phenomenal shape. You know how many people you inspired? It wasn't only about the money. How many people got inspired in your age or even 20 years younger to be like, wow, if he can do it at 50, in the 50s, I'm in my 20s. I have to.
Hey, I lost 100 pounds in 4 months.
I saw it. I was eating. I was going to dinner with you, and we hanging out. I saw it. But the whole thing is, this is it's just a different kind of power, and it's inspiring me. Right? I said, fuck, I can have Mike Tyson look better than me.
Well, you can't change the world unless you change yourself.
Yep. Yes, sir.
You know?
It is. That's awesome. Well, Ali, can you, for the fans for all the viewers that are watching here, can you name some of the athletes that you currently are representing now?
Man, I represent
Well, name the ones you don't represent. You got so many of them, right? Name the ones.
I represent, as you know, Kamaru, Khabib, the Triple C, Henry Cejudo, Justin Gaethje, Prince Islam Makhachev, Benil Dariush, who just beat Tony Ferguson, Marvin Vettori is fighting Israel Adesanya for the title, Derek Bronson, who's the number 1 contender after him, Brad Tavares, Anthony Rambo Johnson, so many guys.
Yeah.
Frankie.
Is he a heavyweight now, Anthony Johnson?
He's a light heavyweight. Yeah, you met Anthony, remember?
Yes.
Yeah, Anthony Johnson. He just knocked out a guy unconscious
He knocked
last
him
week.
dead, right?
He almost killed. He's a very dangerous, and he haven't fought for 4 years. And come back, looking great shape, and knocked out a guy like that, right? Corey Anderson. I have a lot of
Kayla Harrison.
Kayla, 2-time Olympic champion, the GOAT, Kayla Harrison, Giga, Kevin Gastelum, so many, Verdum, so many.
Kayla, where's Kayla? I know Kayla.
Kayla, she did.
She was the PFL for one time.
She was PFL right now. I see here on the list we're gonna talk about her later. I believe she's the GOAT.
I like to see her fight somebody.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, speaking about that, Kayla Harrison and Clarissa Shields. What's your take on that, Mike?
I don't know. I want to see Clarissa fight a UFC fight.
I don't know if we're
She
gonna go
is
by
gonna be a
order or
total
what.
striker. Or she is gonna be a grappler as well.
This is what I think about.
If you don't know both, you don't stand a chance.
This is what I think about. It's easier from a wrestler to become a good striker, but it's harder from a striker to become a good wrestler.
That could be interesting.
What's your predictions in that fight if they ever do fight?
It's a big brother, a little sister, big sister. I think in 60 seconds, Kayla will smash her face in. It wouldn't even be close.
I tell you what, though, that's 2 Olympic gold medals in the
whole
cage.
thing is
That'd be
that,
crazy.
it's no disrespect to Clarissa.
Right,
It's
right.
level to this, and I don't think Clarissa just getting her feet wet. She is a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. Kayla Harrison is a 2-time Olympic gold medalist, but Kayla's 9-0. She's been doing this for 3 years. She's a world champion already. If you want to compare,
she's tough.
if you want to compare, said, who will win? Amanda Nunes? Dana White, she's the GOAT. I think Dana's wrong. And no disrespect, Dana. I think Kayla Harrison is the pound for pound the greatest woman on the planet today. I think
She's tough.
she's a two-time Olympic champion. Nobody lasts around with her. And the whole thing is Amanda Nunes, she's on the end tail of her career. I don't think she can stop Kayla's takedowns.
I think she's in the end of her career. I think her career is just blossoming.
I think Amanda Nunes is like, you know.
What do you think, Henry?
Man, I think the way she's been looking, Ali,
blossoming, right?
Yeah, Mike is right.
But the whole thing is she's fighting people. They not supposed to be there for her. She's not fighting Kayla Harrison. She's
What are the
fighting-
chances, Ali, that maybe Dana White allows the cross promotion of a PFL versus the UFC?
Listen,
a Bellator. You think that'll ever be doable?
It has to be. The money's.
I think
have to.
I don't think will be ever doable because the UFC is so far ahead of everybody. They on ESPN. They have $billions deal. They sort of everybody. It makes no sense for Dana White. It makes sense for Dana White to say Kayla Harrison is going to become a free agent in December, right? It's her last year as PFL, and I'm not saying she's going to leave PFL because I'm loyal to these guys. I like these guys, right? But in a way, there's nobody left for her to beat. And Kayla, she's a two-time Olympic gold medalist. Her mental is different. She want to be the greatest, right?
She got to fight Nunes.
She got to fight. We have to find a way to fight Nunes.
Cyborg first, then Nunes.
You know what? Mike is the man. Listen, I like Cyborg. I think she's amazing. But I don't think any of these girls stand a chance with Kayla.
I like to see her fight Cyborg.
I don't. But in a way, because Cyborg is in Bellator. Amanda Nunes in the UFC. Kayla, I can see PFL doing a co-promotion with Bellator before they do. But I'm telling you, she's a different animal.
I want to see her fight again against the top notch.
Yeah,
let's go ahead and move the subject here, Ali. I want to talk a little bit about Khabib. Obviously, you saw the fight with Oliveira and Chandler. How would you match up Oliveira against a Khabib? Because I feel like I got my 2 cents to say, but I want to hear it from the man.
Listen, I think Khabib is the greatest fighter of all the time. The man never lost a round, never got a black eye in a fight, never got cut. And you see UFC fight like savages. They bleeding, they hurting, they breaking the arm. The man never been touched, right? Mike Chandler versus Oliveira, that was the 5th place at the Olympics fighting the 7th. It's not even the bronze medals or the gold medals. They two guys, the UFC, Dana White is such a smart guy. The best guy there is Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier. This is the best 2 guys. But he said, Charles Oliveira never fought Khabib. Mike Chandler never fought Khabib. If I make this fight each other, be like, oh, they never lost to Khabib, right? I can have a champion without a mark on him. But realistically, Charles Oliveira, he's a good fighter. It's a difference between Lennox Lewis was a good fighter. Mike Tyson is a great fighter, is a legend, right?
Yeah.
Charles Oliveira is a good fighter. Khabib is a great fighter. Is a level to this,
What would your prediction in that 5:30 fight? How do you think Khabib wins?
Khabib inside one round. Inside one round, I think Khabib smash him. He make him question himself because Charles Oliveira always question himself. He breaks, right? And I think Khabib, this is his bread and butter. He make people question themselves.
He's really a ferocious animal.
Is there anything that'll get Khabib to come back? Because I know we had talked about it earlier. Is a George St. Pierre fight, would that ever entice Khabib to come back?
I'm going to break some news here. 2 weeks ago, 10 days ago, Dana White called me. And he said, George St. Pierre, he said he'll fight Khabib. Non-title fight, 165 pounds. But in a way, we've been waiting for George. I like George. He's my friend.
I like George.
I like to. We got to get George here, We've been waiting for George for 4 or 5 years. I'm coming, I'm not coming. And
he had some shit going on for a minute.
Listen, at the end of the day, the UFC want to make him to fight the lightweight. He want to do it welterweight. Khabib was the lightweight champion. But now said, hey, Khabib is retired. I'm retired. What about coming back and fight Khabib now? But Khabib got offered $100 million after he's retired to fight Floyd Mayweather. $100 million.
Is that crazy, buddy?
$100 million. You can ask Floyd. You can ask everybody. And Khabib said, no, I'm retired. I told my mother I'm retired. I'm going to keep my word to my mother, right? If my mother told me to fight again, maybe I will. But right now, she told me not to fight. He come from a Muslim culture. We respect our mother very dearly. We can't go to heaven without our mother permissions. And George now, he wanted to come and fight Khabib, right? And in a way, to be honest, like as a human, I don't want to see George St. Pierre in this. He's 40 years old today. It's his birthday, right? Khabib is a 30 years. He's the man wrestled bears and alligators and lions, and it's like why. They both have the same game, but Khabib is much younger, more ferocious. And I don't think it will be even a fair fight. It will make
Fans want to see it, though.
Fans want to see it. Yes, the
You
fans
got
want
to
to
give
see
the
it.
fans what they want.
What's your take? If you're to see Khabib and George St. Pierre, Mike, how do you think that fight turns out?
I don't know. I haven't seen George fight. He stopped fighting longer than Khabib didn't he?
Yeah, listen.
When's the last time he fought?
4 years ago.
I don't know.
He's 40 years old. Khabib is 32 years old.
I don't think the age matters. Desire, but Khabib, I think, is invincible.
But I have an idea, and I think you're a great promoter yourself. I think your brain, you have the best brain in come to martial art or fighting. George St. Pierre, he wanted to come back. He wanted someone untouchable, right? That's true. The pound for pound king right now, the Nigerian nightmare, Kamaru Usman. The man never lost a fight in the UFC, never got touched in the UFC. He smashed everybody, right?
He's the same way to George.
In the way, if you want to come back and fight somebody invincible like you want, hey.
Are they the same weight?
They the same way, yeah.
Same way,
come
same
back.
everything.
George St. Pierre can come back, fight Kamaru Usman. I'll be more than happy. The UFC be more than happy, and it'll be such a huge fight, right?
But
I
this
think
is what I
he
don't
should
this is
come
what I
back
don't get
and do
about
it.
George St. Pierre, Mike. And you tell me if I'm wrong.
Uh,
The dude trains every day. The dude's constantly in the
does.
gym. Like he
and
trains like he's
like
never
Floyd.
retired.
He's the gym
Yeah.
rat.
But you see
He
what I'm
is.
saying? If you're gonna do all that,
Khabib is a
Mike,
gym rat too.
Yeah, he's always
if
in
you're
there.
gonna do all that, Mike, and then you want a big fight, I think that's gonna determine who the GOAT is. But
no,
as of
no.
now, I agree with you, Ali.
Kamaru
do
Usman broke the record of George St. Pierre. He have more winning streak than him at welterweight division. If you want to fight, Kamaru Usman will fight him, no problem.
I think that's the fight that should happen.
But I think George also smart. Kamaru Usman, we see him how he dismantled George Masvidal. And George, did he want to get hurt, get knocked out like that at this age of his life? Maybe not. Maybe he
But
thinks
George St. Pierre is a natural welterweight, right?
he's a natural welterweight. Yes.
All right, I'm gonna let you have it then. How do you see the predictions of Usman versus GSP if there are two fights?
I think it's a good fight. I think George is still trained. He's in shape. But I think Kamaru knock him out. I really do. This is why George will not take a fight.
We gotta do this fight.
Woo! You heard it here. Tell him, Mike.
We gotta do this fight because our George ain't gonna just be
But,
knocked
I
out
love
that.
George, but I think Kamaru right now will knock anybody out. Like,
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Kamaru will become from.
George is hard to hit though.
He is hard to hit. He have great wrestling. I think it's an intriguing
His
fight.
ground game is awesome.
But so does
He has
Usman.
very good ground game.
But so is Usman.
Honestly, it's a really good fight because I know Kamaru's 34. They're not big in age. They're not, I think it's an intriguing fight. I don't think George is gonna get killed because I think George. We never really see anybody kill George, right? You never see anybody kill George. He's very
He
smart.
fought a lot of great fighters though.
He fought a lot of great fight, but I'm just telling you, if you're gonna compare who's the greatest welterweight of all the time now, you cannot say George St. Pierre because George St. Pierre been a split decision, been in close fight. Kamaru
I know,
Usman is killing
Yeah,
everybody.
he's been knocked out and submitted before too.
And he been knocked out, he been submitted. Kamaru has not been touched, right? And I think
That's just experience.
if you want to come back and
you
make
know,
things,
that knockout, that stuff is just experience.
yeah, but in a way, Kamaru have not been there, but he have more winning in the welterweight division, winning streak than George. Who gonna claim like we talk about John? We talk about GOAT conversation, right? Right now, Jon Jones, Kamaru Usman, ESPN ranked Kamaru Usman is the number one pound for pound, right? John said, I am. I think it's Kamaru Usman is. Because Jon Jones have split decision last 3 fights. All close fight, right? And Kamaru Usman is just killing people in the last 3 fights, right?
yeah.
And in a way, Jon Jones have not fought for a year and a half. Kamaru Usman He fought 3 months and 3 times in 10 months.
I tell you what, Ali. You know what I would love, because he's been so dominant, Mike. Kamaru has been so dominant in the welter. I mean, he's been knocking. I mean, he's lapping people. In reality, he is. Me as his brother, I talked to him a couple of days ago. Actually, yesterday, I talked to him yesterday. I think he should go up, man. I think it's time for him to go up and fight for another title, another belt.
Nah, let him fight George St. Pierre.
If George
Then
St.
go
Pierre
up.
comes, Mike, but if he doesn't come, he's already lapped everybody. Who's next? Kobe Covington?
I agree. I agree with Mike. I think the fight to make is George St. Pierre. I do agree with Mike.
George gotta fight. Why is he even playing around with it?
You know, listen, time is not.
I don't
his
think
side.
he's gonna kill George. I think it's gonna be a good fight. Do you think he'll knock him? I think George is gonna fight real smart.
Yeah, but that's up to George. You know?
Hey, if you have a message for George right now, what do you tell him?
I say face this. If this one of his fears is something, I think he should face it. And I don't think it's gonna turn out as bad as he think it is either. I think he's gonna do okay.
Damn,
Face
there you
your-
have it.
face your
There you
fear.
have it,
Face your
GSP. You're
fear.
hearing it from Iron Mike Tyson. What's
and,
up?
And,
He's a
and,
great
I,
fighter.
and,
He's
I,
a great
and I love
fighter.
George. I respect him. But in a way, like, if you want to fight Khabib, you go ahead and fight Kamaru Usman.
I think he should fight. That's regular his natural weight. Those two guys.
Exactly.
I agree.
Nobody got to
170.
come up. Nobody has to come down.
Exactly, because you know, as in boxing, Mike, you go up 5 pounds.
For a
up 5
little
pounds.
guy, that's a lot
Huge
of weight.
difference.
Like if you 120 and this guy's 125, that's a lot of weight.
Yes.
That's a lot of weight.
Yes. Will Kamaru Usman is this next fight against Kobe Covington?
I really have to talk about this fight because now we talk when Kamaru broke his jaw, right? He knocked him out.
Covington
He broke his jaw.
took the title from him, right?
Yeah, no.
No, they're fighting for the Kobe Covington was fighting for Usman already had the title.
Kamaru beat Woodley, and after that he was defending his title against Kobe. Since Kamaru beat Kobe, Kamaru defended his title 3 times
Ooh, yeah.
in 10 months. Kobe fought 3 times in 3 years, and he fought 1 time after Kamaru beat him. And he beat Woodley. Woodley is not in the UFC anymore, right? As a champion, normally the champion that won weight. He's very active. Right now, Kamaru broke your jaw, knocked you out. You should have stayed active to prove, hey, I deserve it, right?
Exactly.
Right now, nobody deserves nothing. Nobody deserves nothing. If Marvin Vettori fighting Israel Adesanya June 12th, right? From Kings, right? If Marvin Vettori win,
I talked to him today.
if Marvin Vettori win, he will fight
Yes,
Kamaru. I
yeah.
know Kamaru don't want to fight Israel because they're both friends. They're from Nigeria, and I don't get involved with that. If they're friends, I never gonna push him to fight his friend if you don't want to, right? But Marvin Vettori is not his friend. Kamaru can go up and fight Marvin Vettori for the middleweight title. Also,
Shit, if he's your friend, you're supposed to fight him, help him get some money.
yeah, but listen, I this is what part of my practice is, right? If two guys,
If you're my friend and you really care about me and I care about you, we should fight and get some money. Well, how we gonna make some money if we don't
this is
fight?
old school mentality.
You know, how we gonna fight? We gonna rob somebody now?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But
I'm kind of with Mike on this one. Ali.
I'm
You
with
know, I
Mike
love you,
too.
my
No, we
brother.
gonna risk
but
going
I'm
to
a-
jail now for a little money. We can fight right here for a couple $100,000.
It's the
maybe
same
$1
reason why
million.
you fought Roy Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
listen, I this is the mentality I like. I agree with you, and I think the fight to make is Kamaru Usman easy if he wins, or Marvin is who wins. This is what I think. Or George St. Pierre.
Yeah, that's that golden match right there.
Yeah.
he can go to Canada and sell out 50,000 seat arena with this fight.
I mean, speaking of, everybody's talking about Kamaru now. Who is it? Jake Paul. We're talking about Jake Paul again, Mike. He wants a piece of
Fuck.
Kamaru too, man.
Yeah.
Could you ever see a fight with Kamaru and Jake Paul aligning in boxing in the
I can
future?
see that shit.
You want to see it, Mike?
If you're going listen, it's gonna be so much fucking money. How can he turn it down?
Mike's a businessman.
He does way more money than 2 or 3 times as much more in the UFC. How's he gonna be able to turn it down?
Me and
Speak the truth.
me and Kamaru and Dana discussed that last Monday. We had a meeting actually. We had dinner. Listen, Jake Paul is a young kid. You know, he's making hype for himself. I can't hate on him. You know, make your money. But I feel, you know, Jake Paul doesn't have a promoter. Don't have a promoter. You know, my opinion right now, the greatest promoter of comeback history right now is Dana White, right? The UFC have 120 country distribution pay-per-view. They have platform, right? Dana White is not gonna go promote a fight And what's the name of the website?
Which website?
Exactly.
Thriller? Thriller?
Yeah, whatever this Triller thing is, right? They're gonna go ahead and Dana White himself. He's a real billionaire.
Yeah, I'm
right?
not. I'm
Yeah.
gonna stick with Dana if they fucking with Triller. I'm either against
You know
Triller
what I'm
with
saying?
it.
Is, but I'm talking. Forget about we don't like. But he's the baddest, the greatest. Is gonna make you the most money. If Jake Paul wanna make real money, like Floyd, right? When Floyd wanted to make money, it was McGregor. Who's the promoter? Dana White was the promoter, right? Dana White used the UFC machine to promote the fight, become big, become huge, right?
Yeah.
And if Jake Paul right now, he doesn't have contract with Stiletto. If he really want fight a UFC fighter, because now the trend to fight Kamaru Usman, to fight the UFC fighter. These guys act like they're billionaires, the Triller guys, but they're not billionaires. Dana White's a real billionaire. The UFC is a billion-dollar company. You align yourself with people who is gonna make you the most money, and also gonna give you the platform, right? And these guys,
They've been losing money ever since
they saying
started.
they sold 1.6 million the second day of the fight. How are you gonna pay-per-view business? You don't get the number for 30, 40
Shit,
days.
I see
right?
Mike shaking his head, man. What's up, Mike? Say it,
They
Mike.
didn't get that many.
They lying. They lying is a form of promoting, right? But you can't lie like that, because when you lie like that, I'm gonna be like my fighters. You have to pay Jake Paul $40-50 million because you said 1.5, right? But they creating a fake hype. But fake hype can last for so long, right? You have to be honest when you do business, right? When you say, "Hey, I sold 500,000 pay-per-view," okay, that's what you sold. It doesn't matter. But in a way, I don't know these guys, and
You shouldn't know him.
you can't be talking shit about Dana White is the biggest troll. He never you lose public feud, and now this guy's talking about him. You can't be
Listen,
him.
if you talk about it, he wants his name in the paper. Don't talk about this guy.
Yeah, for sure. But in a way, like I say, if Jake Paul or these guys they want to fight Kamaru or something like that, they have to knock on Dana White's door. They can't come to me because I'm not the promoter. I'm the manager. I'll make the deal on Kamaru's behalf. But in a way, yes, if Jake Paul want to get his ass whooped by an African line, he can come and get it, because at the end of the day, he will melt to this guy.
Yeah, speaking about fights, Ali, what is missing to make this fight happen with Jon Jones and Francis Ngannou, man? And then I want to know your predictions. First, how is it that this fight can kind of flourish? And then what's your take? And also you, Mike. I want to know your two cents on that.
You can go ahead, Mike, first.
I don't know. I don't see this fight going too well for Jon, because the guy's size, his aggression, his improvement over the years he's been in the UFC. And I would think, what would Jon do? Would he put on more weight? Or would he fight him just at 107?
No, Jon Jones is about 250 already. The dude is already.
But it's not really weight. It's not real weight. It's fake weight.
What is it? What has to be done in order for that fight to take place, man? I know you're super close to Dana.
Jon's gonna have to box him, move, jab, punch him.
Yeah, but before he does all that, how can this fight take place?
I think this is what happened here. You know, Jon he's very much take matter of his own hand, right? You pay people to work for you, to get deals done, to do this. And Jon, he decided to go public with Dana about money, right? I think real people don't talk about money in public. You talk about money. The UFC Dana Lorenzo, these guys are real gangsters, man. You know, you don't talk to gangsters about money in public, about problem. But you go sit down behind closed door, man to man, and talk about your problem, right? You're gonna agree and disagree. But when a fighter start talking about money publicly, you make yourself cheap. You make yourself cheap. Did Jon Jones deserve money? Yeah, I think Jon Jones deserve a lot of money. I agree with him. All fighters have to be paid. If you give him 10 million, he say he want 20. If you give him 30, they want 60. This is the nature of the business, right? But I think the problem with Jon Jones, Dana White, Dana's a harder headed too. And if you go public feud with him, he's gonna beat you every time, right? You know, and in a way, now Dana's saying about he's gonna fight Derrick Lewis, Francis Ngannou. When he wins, he's gonna fight Stipe. Jon is not even in the conversation. Jon is 35 years old. He's not getting any younger. The UFC is making money every day. And the person who's not making money is Jon Jones. And you can buy anything in life, anything except one thing, time. You cannot buy time back, right?
Yeah,
And I think
limited with it.
Jon is like, he have to get personal with Dana, sit down with him and talk with him, right? And Dana, it's so easy to work with. It's not as hard. People think Dana White is such a monster, is a savage. He used to be. But now the new Dana White is actually
He's a teddy bear.
very level-headed.
Is he a teddy bear though?
Huh?
Is he a teddy bear?
He's not no teddy bear. Dana. But I'm gonna tell you something. He's
No.
more calm. He's more understanding. But in a way, you wanna go like that with him. You understand? You're never gonna win because the UFC is gonna move on and make money, put shows on every year. You're the one losing time. I hope I want to see this fight happen between him and Francis. I think it's a big fight, But I wish Jon Jones start going public with this. Go meet Dana, have dinner with him, and try to. A lot of people reach out to me. I see, why you don't manage Jon? Why you don't manage Jon? I talked to Jon before a couple of times, but in a way, if I manage somebody, I'm gonna be like, yo, you gotta sit down, you gotta trust me. Like Khabib, like Kamaru, like Henry, let me do my job. You pay me. A manager work for the fighter. I'm an employee by the fighter. I'm not the star, but you pay me to do this. Let me do my job. But I think Jon is the type of guy who want to take matter in his own hand on Twitter and Instagram. And this is, he's a legend. He should not do that. And him fighting Francis, it's hard not to bet on Francis right now.
Yeah.
It's
His hands are hot.
it's just Francis. It's dangerous everywhere you go with him,
Yeah.
And he possesses this kind of power Jon doesn't possess.
Smart too.
Yeah.
He's gotten smarter over the years.
What's your predictions, Mike? What's your predictions? Jones, Ngannou, next year. Who wins it? Who takes all?
They're gonna fight again before they fight someone else.
I don't think this fight is gonna happen. I think Francis Ngannou is gonna fight Derek Lewis.
No, for sure. But hypothetically, what do you think, Mike?
I want to see them fight again. I want to see Jones fight. 'Cause I didn't like Jones' last fight. It was very complicated. He fought the Arabian guy.
Yeah.
I believe.
And what about you, Ali? What's your take on that?
It's hard. Listen to me. Jon he's a winner. He never lost in the UFC. He's a winner.
And that's what's scary.
He's a winner. He always find a way to win. But in a way, Francis is so dangerous. And Jon lately, this guy's catching up to him. It's close fight. He's been in close fight against the guys getting knocked out. Like the guy who split decision, two of them. They both got knocked out in the second round by some guys not even this good as Jon, right? And I don't know if Jon putting on this weight is going to help him or it's going to slow him down because Jon is not a fast guy. He's not a fast, explosive. He's long. He uses range well. Listen, Jon is a winner, but Francis Ngannou is a killer.
He's a monster.
Yeah.
It's a fight for sure we all want to see. And I hope this fight can happen.
Of course.
It will.
Man.
It will.
Of course, man. Wow, man. Ali, man. Any new projects? Any closing thoughts here, man? That you wanna share with the people?
We talk about Clarissa Shield. I think they need to take her time with her. She's making her debut. I wish her the best of luck. She always tweeting me. She think I don't like her, but I like her. She's a sister. I wanted to see her to do well, but I think people need to take her time with her. You understand?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Don't rush her. The way I built Kayla Harrison.
Yeah.
I brought her. She was 0-0. Now she's 9-0.
So awesome.
You cannot allow the promoter to push you. I believe the greatest female fighter on the planet today is Kayla Harrison. And Mike, you guys talked before. We talked about Kamaru Usman and Masvidal fight. We didn't talk about this fight. What do you think about this fight, Mike? The Masvidal fight.
He's too much for him.
Yeah, from the first fight, Ali, to now, it's like Kamaru just turned into another animal, another monster.
I think what happened is Kamaru, the first fight, he took this fight on 5 days' notice. He left, went home, and they called me and said, hey, let's make this fight happen. And very much it was, everybody said, excuse Masvidal take this fight on 6 days' notice. Kamaru did too, But I feel everybody comes with this Masvidal hype, right? Masvidal knocked out Ben Askren, but you see what happened to Ben Askren, right? Ben Askren is not this guy who's, he's an okay fighter, but he was not a great fighter.
Different than
but I'm talking about people, and when you see Masvidal, fight week come with rappers, cars, Bentley, Rolls Royces. You know what I did with Kamaru? We stay at the fighter hotel. We'll close the doors. Nobody can hang out with us. We train, eat, and sleep. He was out in town, videos, and it become more of a show, not a fight, right? when you come to fight Kamaru Usman, who's a cold-blooded killer. He's a killer, right? You have to have some focus. You understand? You want to come with this Versace ropes and all this stigma, you know what I'm saying? It's only one Floyd Mayweather. You understand? That's just him. Everybody want to be Floyd Mayweather, but their bank account is have maybe $1 million, or maybe less. You can't be Floyd, and Floyd is a master. He already used to this type of a pressure, right? But when you get a guy like Masvidal, with these rappers, you have like rappers and this and girls and all this kind of stuff. He's a great fighter. He's a good guy. I don't know him.
Exciting.
Seem like a good. But I'm talking about when you see all these people, your whole Cuban Spanish community on your back, but you're not there yet. You're not the champion, right? It put pressure on the fighters, right? And I advise when you see your team or your management, whatever, want to put this kind of pressure on you, said, no. I got to focus. Fight week. Let me focus. And I locked Kamaru in the room. I'm not joking. It was nobody, no pictures, because I know it's such an important fight for his legacy in this fight. You cannot lose to this guy. You understand? And we went in there. Kamaru have an amazing training camp with Trevor Whitman, who's actually a boxing coach, make his hand looking sharp. And we went in there. It was a fight. We killed or be killed, right? But I feel Masvidal win there. He's a fighter. He's a real fighter. But he has so much distractions too.
Yes. Speaking about what's your take on the lightweight division right now with Justin Gaethje, man? How everything's kind of playing out? 'Cause I almost feel like they kind of neglected him a little bit. The only guy that's really beaten him has been Khabib. What's your take on Gaethje, and where does he fit in the picture at
I
lightweight?
think. Listen, now you have McGregor fighting Dustin Poirier, right? You know, they're gonna fight each other. Probably McGregor gonna quit again. You know, because he's a quitter. He quit. I know last time I was on your podcast, I killed him, but he's to me he's irrelevant. You know.
Okay, I remember telling
Like
them.
he's irrelevant now. He's a guy like he's like a high end prostitute. You know?
Oh, really? Tell me more about that.
He's a high end prostitute. Now people want to go out on a date with him to show, hey, I have a pretty girl with me. He's the pretty girl, and after that, when you with her, he can go show other girls, be like, hey, I got this beautiful girl. You want to date me? That means fighter, they fight him. And they get this clout. They get the look. They get this stigma with him fighting Conor McGregor. But they don't understand Conor McGregor haven't won 3 years. But he have to steal high price hooker. He's a hooker. He is. You understand? And in a way, like now, you got all these guys. He become a stepping stone. But also, you make money when you fight Conor McGregor because he's a draw, right? But how long it is gonna last for? You know?
Never know. Up to him.
Him and Dustin Poirier, I like Dustin, but both look like shit when they fight.
Yeah.
Conor beat him up the first round, the second round. It didn't make no sense, right? It make no sense, right? But at the end of the day, like you have a lot of killers. You have Justin Gaethje. I believe he's the best lightweight.
He should fight the guy that just beat Tony Ferguson.
They both my guys.
Yeah.
They both. But they talked, you know. But now they said they'll fight each other for the title. If they want to fight tomorrow,
go for it, man.
It's up.
Tell them to go all out.
But let's see what happens July 10. And Justin Gaethje, I believe he's the best lightweight in the world today. But but the whole thing is, you have Islam Makhachev, who's Khabib's younger brother coming up. You have Benil Dariush coming up, who trained with Kings, with Master Rafael. He's a killer, right? You have a lot of guys who's gonna beat all these guys in the top 5. You have the new guys coming up who is better than the McGregor, the Poirier, all these guys, right? But at the end of the day, like the McGregor thing is finished. McGregor now is gonna be fighting Jake Paul, and he's gonna fight the Kardashians. The girl, he's gonna fight chicks.
He's gonna fight Kim. Shit, I'll fight. Hey, Mike, I'll fight Kim Kardashian, man.
You would?
Yeah.
Beat your fucking ass.
Yeah. Henry's a pervert. He's a pervert. But that's what's going on now. Is that like I want to ask a question, and because you think Jake Paul and Ben Askren was a fake fight or a real knockout?
That's a real deal.
You think it was a real deal?
I'm so happy the referee didn't let him hit him again.
Huh?
I'm glad the referee didn't let Jake hit that guy.
Because a lot of people say they think it's a fix.
Ask Ben if it's fake.
Yeah, no, it's real. He got clocked with that right hand. And Ben's not a boxer. He's not a striker.
Poor
Ali.
guy.
It was unfair. You know what I'm saying?
They should let me fight Ben Askren.
Oh, you punch him out too. You kidding me?
Don't hurt Ben. Then it's probably his pride is hurt so bad.
I don't think so. I think he's going there. He's not gonna win.
Yeah. Well, that's what's up, man. Well, Ali, man, it's been awesome, man. The time that I've had a chance
Really?
to get to know you, Ali, and how fighters from Russia, from the Middle
You
East,
Pakistan, you Turkestan.
everybody, the world, man, the way they treat this man, from Mexico to everywhere. I mean, I'm just, man, I would love to be praised like him, Mike. You know what I'm saying?
worked
'Cause
there. He
people
was-
respect him.
He worked
and people
for
love
every
him.
bit of it.
But you know what, Mike? One of the things that like sometimes talking to you and talking to this, and sometimes people believe in their own hype. And the one thing I always say, I'm a servant from many masters. Henry Cejudo is my master. Kamaru, Khabib, and even the young fighters who doesn't make money, I treat him like their champion. And I always say, I'm a servant of many masters, and I'm just a guy who cleaning a room, who making the bed, taking the garbage out. I never think I'm somebody because these guys really put their life on the line. And I'm not putting my life on the line like them. And I'm grateful for all these guys, and I'm grateful for you, Mike, to give me your time
Thank
to
you,
talk with me.
brother. Stop this shit. I'm grateful for you to stop this shit. People love you too. Don't make like you the only people. The only person that love people.
I have to say one more thing too. One of my craziest moment of my life, right, is happened. I got in some a little fight at one night with Mike. I said, Mike, I'll come back, and I went to handle this one guy. He was talking a little bit crazy, and I shouldn't. And Mike after said, man, you can't be fighting people like that. And I was like, what's wrong with the world? It's like I got Mike Tyson told me to chill. You know what I'm saying? That was for
hearing
me.
about you doing too much out there.
And after that, I cut it off.
Yeah.
I did. You know what?
You have to stay the debonair, sophisticated gentleman that you are.
Thank you.
Oh, that's what's up, man. Let's end it on that note. Ali Abdelaziz, thank you for being here on Hotboxing with Mike Tyson. I'm your co-host, Triple C, a.k.a. Henry Cejudo.
And I'm Mike Tyson. Have a good day.
We out.